For section 6-3 work together, we have two tasks to complete. The first task is extending our balances from the trial balance columns into the correct income statement or balance sheet column that those numbers go. Our second task will be to calculate the net income or net loss. So first thing, we need to extend the amounts. Think of this income summary line as the dividing line. Everything above the income summary line goes into the balance sheet. Assets, liability, and owner's equity. Everything below the income summary line goes into our income statement. So we're going to be transferring numbers over exactly as they are in the trial balance column into the correct column. So starting with cash, we have a debit of $4,900 in the trial balance. It's a debit of $4,900 on the balance sheet. And so on as we work our way down those balances. Now, when we get to a line that has an adjustment, you need to make sure that that number is adjusted. So we started with $228 of supplies, and we ended with 75. So 228 minus 153, so 228 minus our 153 adjustment gives us our 75. That is the balance that we want to make sure we show on our balance sheet, the updated balance. Same thing for prepaid insurance. $375 debit is decreased with a credit of $125, and we're left with $250 debit. So that is how we transfer over those adjustment amounts. And we work our way down, transferring numbers over exactly as they are into the correct columns. Now we've reached the income summary line. That is our dividing line. Now everything below is going to go into the income statement column. Transferring those numbers exactly as they are in the trial balance, so a credit of $2,160, better put that as a credit of $2,160 in the income statement. This adjustment, we had 0 and then a debit of $125, so our new balance for insurance expense is a debit of $125. Same thing for our supplies expense. Don't forget about those adjustment amounts. So now that we have everything in there with our dividing line of the income statement, income summary, everything above income summary goes into balance sheet, below goes into income statement. Now we need to total up those columns. So take your time using a calculator, total up those columns. So for our income statement debit amount, we have $1,483. One sale amount, one revenue amount, $2,160. Balance sheet amount, $8,387. Finally, our credit amount for the balance sheet, $7,710. It is really important that the income statement and balance sheets totals, those will not equal. Don't be alarmed that our debits did not equal credits. The income statement debit totals did not equal the income statement credit totals. They will not equal until we plug in either our net income or our net loss, which is what we're going to do on the next step. Now we are to the point of calculating our net income or net loss. How we do that is we take our revenue. If our revenue is larger, our only revenue we have is the sales of $2,160. And since it's larger than our expenses, then we take our revenue minus our expenses. We never have negative numbers, so you always take the bigger number minus the smaller number. So in a calculator, you'll take 2,160, that's our revenue, minus our expenses, 1,483. So our net income is 677. We transfer that number over to the balance sheet columns underneath whatever number is smaller. So we put that underneath our credit. We always list our net income in two places. We also want to be sure that we label that as net income, because remember, it could also be a net loss. We have our net income in two places. Now when we total up those two amounts, our net income plus 1,483. Now this column equals 2,160. 2,160 plus 0 leaves us with 2,160. 8,387 plus 0 gives us 8,387. Finally, we'll add up our balance sheet debit column. 7,710 plus 677 gives us 8,387. Now the debits equal the credits for our income statement column and our balance sheet column. Debits equal credits. And that was our task for Work Together 6-3.